The liver is one of the most important and vital organs of the body. Indeed, in many ways, it is the most important of all. Its functions are of supreme importance to the life of the organism, both in health and disease, for the liver is the great barrier within the system to the inroads of foreign and deleterious substances, which would seriously affect the working of the system as a whole if allowed entry. Briefly stated, the general functions of the liver are 1. To produce bile, 2. To store glycogen or animal starch, 3. To excrete waste products, although the secretion of bile is perhaps the most important of all the liver functions. Bile is both a secretion and an excretion. It is a secretion concerned in the emulsification and assimilation of fats and digestion, and it aids, in some degree, the peristalsis of the bowels. Bile is also an excretion, inasmuch as it breaks down and disposes of blood pigments, together with a certain quantity of the waste of protein metabolism. With regard to its second function, the storage of glycogen or animal starch, the liver is constantly involved in the assimilation of starches. After starches and sugars have been rendered fit for absorption by the digestive processes, they are taken via the bloodstream to the liver, and there a certain amount is converted into glycogen, to be stored up for the future needs of the body, only a very limited amount of sugar being allowed in the blood at any one time. When the body is in need of a new supply of sugar for its work, a certain quantity of the glycogen in the liver, which has been stored up, is reconverted into dextrose, sugar, and allowed to enter into the circulation, thence to be utilized by the tissues. The liver has also a great deal to do with protein metabolism. When protein foods are broken down in the system, digested, they are converted into what are known as amino acids. And when too much protein food has been eaten, a large proportion of these amino acids of protein digestion are carried to the liver, there to be broken down into urea, together with other nitrogenous wastes of the system, and finally eliminated through the kidneys in the urine. This point is of vital importance to the understanding of the cause of a large percentage of liver disorders, and of kidney disorders too. For the more meat, fish, eggs, cheese, and other protein foods are included in the daily dietary, the more excess protein will there be for the liver to break down into urea and get rid of via the kidneys, and the more will these two organs be adversely affected both in health and functional ability in consequence. It will thus be seen that the liver is the chief organ concerned in preserving the balance of nutrition of the body, and it also acts as an important defense against poisons generated in the system either in the normal course of bodily functioning or in abnormal conditions of such functioning. It will be obvious from the foregoing that the liver is an organ which is subjected to a continual strain all the time, because of the variety and importance of the functions it is called upon to perform in the vital economy of the system. And it will be equally obvious, surely, that where there is constant overfeeding and other dietetic indiscretions, the liver will be made to bear the immediate brunt of such living, with consequent malfunctioning and subsequent disease. But the relationship between diseases and disorders of the liver and wrong feeding are yet further intensified by the chronic constipation which usually accompanies such wrong feeding habits. For where there is chronic constipation, there are always large quantities of toxic material forming in the bowel, and as a means of safeguarding the health of the system, these toxic materials are carried by the portal vein to the liver to be dealt with as best that organ can, in its role of defender of the health of the organism. Thus, where there is chronic constipation, the liver will be constantly swarming with bacteria and toxins which it will have to destroy or neutralize, in addition to its other functions. Then again, and as already pointed out, in addition to its liability to disease from the sources just referred to, the liver is the great barrier to the entry of drugs into the system proper, and so drugs taken for the supposed curing of stomach or bowel or other disorders have more often than not to be dealt with by the liver and ultimately taken care of there, to the yet further detriment of the said organ. In the drug treatment of fevers, the liver is practically always affected and often permanently enlarged as a direct result of such treatment. And finally, when the liver itself succumbs to all these factors acting against it, it is subjected to yet further drug treatment on its own behalf, in the belief that by so doing, it can be brought back to normal functioning again. No wonder liver disorders continue to grow in our overfed and drug-drenched world. The whole thing is based upon a complete misunderstanding as to what effect drugs have upon the system in general and upon the liver in particular. Instead of the liver being improved in function by such treatment, it is simply left all the more exhausted after its enforced activity in dealing with the drug. The habitual drinking of alcoholic liquor also very adversely affects the working of the liver, because in its role as defender of the system, the liver is called upon to deal as best it can with alcoholic poisons too. And much liver trouble in later life can be directly traced to that one cause alone. Again, the constant use of condiments, sauces, seasonings, and spices of all kinds tends to upset liver functioning too, quite apart from any of the other factors already mentioned, because the liver is ultimately called upon to deal with the end products of such embellishments of the daily dietary to its own cost. Liver disorders and diseases owe their origin to two main causative factors. 1. To wrong feeding habits on the part of the individual concerned, especially overfeeding and overindulgence in drink. 2. To the suppressive drug treatment of former disease of one kind or another. Drug usage for liver troubles never removes causes and inevitably tends to make the condition of the sufferer worse in time by virtue of the drugs employed. Natural treatment for liver troubles actually removes causes and so paves the way for that return to real health.